guys, welcome back to another video. Today, you might guys think, oh, this looks different from your tank animations. Definitely, we're not stupid here. But the main issue I have that with the tank animation, I'm not quitting, okay? I take a little hiatus. I had exams and school's been really stressful. So, wow, to keep you guys updated with fresh new content, I'm gonna do some content like this. I'm working on the episode. I've just started like yesterday. But I hope it turns out well. I'm gonna take some time, 1 or 2 weeks. The most I've taken for an episode is 1 week. The first episode took a lot of time, almost 3 weeks because I could not animate. But the longest episode I take was 1 week. And I think it was the Rate episode. I'm actually gonna take some time and do some actual good animation because I know now. But I'm trying to do something different to keep you up with fresh content. This is a new series I started called the Ukraine and Russian War Alternate Universe. This is my universe that I'm following by my own rules. Yes, my own rules. I kind of stole this idea from my friend. I had more ideas of World War II alternatives, but those are way too common. So I thought, let's do our own spin on me. So let's start. Ukraine's big day. It starts after a lot of talk with the US. Ukraine finally decides to talk with NATO and other European. Don't mind any background noise, it can be really anyone. I don't really have a setup. Now let's start. After talking to the Americans and the European Union, they finally decide to join both of them because they're kind of tired and sick of this. Russia even claims some territories of their own here. Yeah. Now, we think Putin's really chill here, but he's kind of freaking out. And he's really mad. He's about to go entire bazooka mode right now. Entire bazooka. Oh, bazooka mode isn't good. Ukraine has been only kind of supplied... Oh, shit. Ukraine's only kind of been supplied with weapons. Not really troops. After joining this... But we know NATO and they are not really stupid to fight an all-right attack against Russia because this war has been going on before Ukraine joined. This sounds really unrealistic, but I'm doing it. It's fun. So, troops from Poland, Germany, France, and some troops from NATO are here. Not countries who are also in NATO, like Austria and the smaller countries. They're probably not intervening in this because they don't wanna. This is Kiev. Now Russia is going ballistic over here. The first round of Russian troops and British troops enter. About 50,000 US troops and 20,000 British troops. Doesn't seem like an amount, but it kinda is helping here. Because with better trained troops, they can easily outnumber the Russians. The first offensive starts here, trying to push back. Yeah, they're trying to push back a lot of Russian defenses. Because the city of Kupiansk is being kind of taken. Yeah, not such a good situation here, really. They're gonna try to kind of push back and combat against the Russians. But the Russians are kind of prepared after hearing this. Russia's trying to get plans up their sleeve. But the US has a plan of their own. How to retake Crimea. Russia somehow hasn't still made the move to make entire Crimea of theirs. Like they did to some land here. But that because Crimea is too controversial here. the US is probably gonna send out ships called Project Crimea Takeover. Crimea Takedown, yes. Their plan is... Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong thing. Their plan is to kind of bomb here. They're gonna just like D-Day style Crimea, so they can just kind of split open this part and work their way up, which is a good plan. But the Russian Navy is here already. The Russian Navy, and there's only one on defense in Crimea. Well, there are scout ships from the UK and the US, but NATO is too cautious to actually make their own scout ship to go here. For now, they're kind of scout ships, kind of let them be here. Let's just back them up so they didn't get detected. So they're watching from here. They got access from Bulgaria or Romania. Turkey's not even in this because it's too controversial. So we've explained every plan, and here's Ukraine's counterattack plan. This is gonna happen not currently. It probably 1 or 2 months of preparation. So if we take this, it's currently 2020. It's currently 2025. In 2025, August 5th. Yeah, August 5th. Yeah, I know the real date here is June 3rd, but it's August 5th in this universe, okay? And the Ukrainian counteroffensive plan is gonna go off in like 2 weeks. What the hell happened here? Okay. 2 weeks. The counteroffensive plan is to have about 2 main divisions of 100k NATO and US made up troops to rush through here, getting as much territory as they can. But that's not really good. That's why the main 150k force is gonna be tearing down tears. This plan has been discovered yet. Only been like these 3 cities only know about this. Even the closer cities don't even know nothing. Oh yeah. Oh great. I'm sorry, my electricity came back. Oh, sorry. Let's get back. This area is kind of impossible because the Russians have created a little bit in What's this area called again? Yeah, Mariupol. Or Luhansk, or this was called. They're kind of have a defensive fortification here, probably trying to do. So let the madness begin. With this offensive, you can see that they obviously took some land from here, and this is meant to be like what they're currently fighting and or what they control. They retook land here. They pushed the Russians back, and currently like this kind of a war zone area, or like they kind of are attacking here. The main operation here did go well, but this one was not likely. They only took like this %. Why am I going to? Okay, that was an accident. Oh shit, what happened here? Oh, wait, let me clean this up. Okay, we're back. So they took like this amount. Well, they were intended to take this much. This incursion went awfully good. So that went well. And at this time, more US and British and French troops arrived, aiding in the front lines over here. But this area is stacked. Ukraine is telling NATO to push up into Russia, so they'll put troops out of here and they'll retake their land. But NATO and Ukraine NATO, they're kind of questioning this decision. They're kind of scared if Russia does a brutal counterattack. They're being aided by North Korea and everything else. But although everything's going good, it's been about 2 weeks after the attack, so 4 weeks. So the plan has become like almost 1 month. There's only like 1 month and 1 or 2 weeks left before this plan goes into action. Around like 350k new troops are fighting here and getting supplied by 10k like each month to recover their losses. Russia is putting heavy men on the battle lines, trying to recover from this brutal counterattack that they faced. Probably one of their worst decisions, seeing NATO come in. They thought, oh, they're probably not going to do that big of a counterattack. But this was mainly Ukraine's plan with America. The US. I don't know. I kind of like to call them the America. But NATO really didn't approve of this, but they still went through. Now let's see how the next plan is going. Okay. Let's see. Mostly Ukrainian troops are up here. This is Ukraine's own plan. Only America and NATO know about this, not even the other members, just the head of NATO's. But this didn't really go well because just Ukrainian troops were here. As I told, the Russians were basically like constructing, but kinda also not. Just sending every man, ageable man for war to fight. Thing is, NATO's peeing their pants. Yeah, like peeing. Russia's peeing their pants. And Ukraine is the one who's just sitting there watching both of them pee. Wait, that sounded so weird. Main purpose was this, so they can Kiavpool, I forgot how to pronounce this, so they can really protect this city. If this falls, this entire northern area is kinda open, without any major cities with major troops, so it will be all this over again. The Russians have noticed some spying from the British and the American. So what they try to do is just, yep. The British decide, yippee. The Americans are like, yippee. But quicker. Wait, can I still get them from here? Okay, back to topic. The Russians, after seeing this, they're like, oh, hell no. They put up another ship here, just in case. This was Ukraine's main counterattack. Let's see what Russia did. Oof. Yes, they did take a decent amount here. And a little bit up here, but oof. And this yellow means currently fighting, like the thing I did with the blue. This was not really a good move. They tried to prove themselves like we are not weak, but it ended up being a wrong turn. They wasted like 70k soldiers, like burned through, just for a counteroffensive. After seeing this, NATO's like, okay, no more. They just kind of burned through our defenses with a human meat shield. Let's also put up some gangs. Now NATO's serious. Now Russia is also becoming serious. First they were both afraid. Now they're saying both of them are willing to fight like hell. And ooh, what is this? Foreshadowing. Probably we'll talk about this in the next episode. Oh, sorry, that's just my future self. So more countries like Slovakia and Lithuania start helping out. Now, we know our dear Belarus. They're seeing their friend, Russia, their bestest friend ever. BFFs forever. Kinda get jumped here. That's how you say it, right? Getting jumped. Yeah, so they got jumped. Belarus is thinking about joining the war, but they really they want to join it, but they really need another thing to really push them to it. Foreshadowing. Okay, nothing. Well, that's all gonna be for today's episode. Foreshadowing. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hope this one turns out actually good. First time trying to do this stuff.